YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode number 1204. That's right, episode number 1204 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition. Live today again from Red Morton Park. This is this is day 36. It's day 36 of the GNA Positivity Challenge, and today we're going to be talking about the truth will not be silenced. The truth will not be silenced. Hello, GLM. Hello. How are you? My lady is cooking right now, so she will pop in when she can. She's probably not going to be as active today. But she'll be listening in the background. And today's been a very interesting day. It's been a good day, but very interesting because my intuition is so good. Humbly speaking, I've got such great intuition. I get such a good read on people. And when certain people go dark for several days, you figure what they're going to do. And you're already mentally and emotionally prepared for it. And then all you have to do is correct the record. Because nowadays, because of the internet, when people smear your name, such as the one person that I've sued in my current active circuit civil case, when they want to continue to smear my name and do things that undermine my credibility and it affects me and my reputation on this platform, I'm going to stand up for the truth. I'm going to correct the false statements and share the truth. I'm going to correct the record every time. And I'm also going to just share what's going on because that is my protected speech to do so. And apparently, the defendant that I'm suing is live right now, and based on his title and based on what he filed today, I'll get more of that in a little bit because I filed something earlier today too. We're going to get into all of this, okay? But based on what he filed today, it really shows me clearly where his mind is at, in my opinion, that is. And it all stems back to just having a temper tantrum, emotionally overreacting because another one of my filings did what it was supposed to do. It put out the truth. It corrected what the defendant and other people that he's been acting in concert with. I still haven't unbanned you, Gordo. Sorry, I've been very busy. I'll get to it. But anyway, we're going to be sharing the truth about what the defendant has been doing while acting in concert with other people in his group. You know, I'm going to, every single time that I'm harmed, even in a group fashion, I'm going to file evidence with the court, and I have the right to do that. And it's called a notice of filing evidentiary materials. It is not a motion. It's just filing evidence that is extremely relevant to the case, despite what the defendant filed. He filed a motion to strike what I filed today. I guess the filing served its purpose, right? So while he's on his stream right now, probably, getting very, very triggered and probably further lying to you folks, in my opinion, the only thing he can do to save his face in front of his audience is lie to them. I'm gonna share the truth, right? Because here's the thing: that if the defendant goes live and tells his audience the truth, that his audience is gone, because they're only there for the slanderous and other lies that he creates on me. And that's why we're in court. We're in court to not only stop him, but every single person that's acting in concert, that's coordinating with him in his group. And that is proper evidence. Hey, Tia, how are you doing? Welcome to the show. So I filed a 50-page supplemental on the Florida woman that the defendant has been acting in concert with. The people that know the backstory, you know exactly who I'm talking about. I don't need to mention names here. If you're here and you're new, just try to follow along, right? Now, I filed that 50-page supplemental notice of filing of evidentiary materials for the upcoming anti-SLAPP motion to dismiss hearing and for future hearings. And once you file a notice of filing with exhibits, it can be used for any part of the case as evidence. It becomes a permanent record of evidence, right? And he can try to strike it down, which he's filed a motion to strike. But I'm just gonna. I've shown in the actual document, it shows I state the relevance, right? And we'll just let Judge Stacy decide whether my evidence is relevant or not. We're not going to argue. We're not here to argue. We're here to correct the record. We're here to share the truth, because the truth will not be silenced. My truth will not be silenced, and my truth will not be continuously spun out of context by the defendant and his group of people that are fixated on continuing to paint me as the villain, because without that, they have no audience, right? It's pretty clear, cut and dry, right? And besides their audience, that they just don't want to lose to me. The bottom line is, this is not a competition. This is not a competition. This is about stopping your malice, stopping your coordinated defamatory behavior, stopping your smear campaign, right? Now, within this 50-page filing, it involved around a video that the defendant, or that the woman that the defendant has been acting in concert with, and involved a video on December 2nd, 6 days ago, where the defendant, the person acting in concert, this is a woman that has also tried to intervene in this case. She's a non-party. She's tried to improperly intervene, and she's been shut down every time by the judicial assistant. She tried to set a hearing for her non-party status. The only rights she has is to request leave of court and then file a motion to intervene. She doesn't want to do that because if she files leave of court, if she requests leave of court, and then she can file a motion to intervene, if Judge Stacy grants her even a limited party to the case, then she's open to discovery, she's open to sanctions, she's open to punitive damages, she's open to a conduct-based protective order, and she doesn't want that. She doesn't want that. So she's playing the system like she always does, in my opinion, and she's just trying to create noise for the defendant in this case. And all she's done, in my opinion, which I'm entitled to under my First Amendment rights, and you can file with the court all you want. Even Judge Stacy will see this, and she'll say, hey, he's just sharing his truth. He's correcting the record. He's not harassing anyone. He's not defaming anyone. All he's doing is sharing the truth regarding a publicly viewable case, right? So this was a live stream that the woman acting in concert with the defendant was doing last week. And she's been using substantial, large portions of my content and then deleting the video after she streams it on YouTube, and then she re-uploads it to Rumble to avoid being removed, right? In essence, to circumvent, platform enforcement, right? That speaks for itself, okay? It's obvious, right? And since she's been doing that, and she was reusing a lot of my content, a substantial portion of my content for days, I said, okay, if she goes live again, then I'm going to screen record the entire thing with the chat and everything, and I'm going to file a copyright while she's actively live. I did that. YouTube took the video down. When you get taken down for a copyright during an active live stream, you are also suspended from streaming for 7 days, which is why she's been streaming on YouTube. Now, she's probably also suspended on Rumble because as of this point right now, through 3 separate emails, because her Rumble channel is called Eli TV with my picture, name, and likeness as her channel. I have now filed 9 DMCA copyright takedowns that have been removed by Rumble, and more than likely her Rumble channel is hanging on by a thread. At the very least, it's probably restricted because she has not been even going live there or uploading there. And that channel will probably be terminated, not because of me filing my DMCAs, but because she's an extreme repeat copyright infringer. So then she filed a counter notification, and I got it the next day. In that counter notification, that thing was all over the place. I ended up filing it. I ended up filing this as part of my supplemental filing with the court. Give me a second. So, during this stream, she played the defamatory, I believe you embezzled video created by the defendant. The defendant came in on 2 separate channels, his main channel and his secondary monetized channel. She also, the woman that was doing this stream acting in concert with the defendant, also showed the JACS public website, still making a big deal about the January 9th hearing at 9:30 a.m., which is a placeholder that has not been confirmed by the judicial assistant or the judge, at least at this point. Now, this has been escalated to the court, aka Judge Stacy. Judge Stacy will rule what happens with that hearing date. Okay? Judge Stacy will rule what happens. And whatever she rules, I will comply with no matter what, because the court overrules everything. Judge Stacy overrules everything, aka the court, right? So whatever the court decides, I'm not going to miss a hearing. But I never agreed to that hearing, and the judicial assistant sent new dates. The defendant didn't agree to those new dates because the defendant said, I don't agree to a continuance. And I'm like, this is not a continuance. This is a court-initiated schedule change. The court had to change and clear their schedule where we were at. They gave us the option to still be heard the same day, but during the morning slot, if we're both available. And if one of us isn't available, new dates will apply. And that's what happened. New dates were given. And because the defendant doesn't understand, well, he doesn't understand. He understands the procedure, but in my opinion, he's pretending to not understand it because he doesn't want this hearing delayed anymore, and neither do I. But I'm just not available during that time. And you know what? There's no reason necessary. You don't have to give a reason. The court doesn't ask you a reason. Now again, whatever the court decides to do, I will listen to the court. But I've done everything procedurally proper. In my opinion, the defendant has not. Okay? Now, from the Florida lady, okay, acting in concert with the defendant. She played the I believe you embezzled defamatory video. She played a very large portion of one of my pieces of content. She stretched it over 2 hours. She used my content to keep her audience around, and she did minimal commentary on it. And her commentary was not real commentary. It was bullying and harassment. And that does matter. The nature and purpose of the use was not educational. It was a harassment piece, in my opinion. We'll let the court decide that if we do go to copyright court for this down the road. Now, why did I file this with the court as evidentiary materials? Because in the counter notification, in my opinion, and what it appears like, in the counter notification, the woman acting in concert with the defendant wasn't, in my opinion, wasn't fully honest with the counter notification. She contradicted herself in the counter notification. She was even citing fair use laws that, don't allow for full re-uploads. They allow for small excerpts, small segments, and that's not what happened here. She contradicted herself, right? She also completely played 100% without any commentary. The defendants, I believe you embezzled a defamatory video of me while the defendant was there, not only on his main channel, but his secondary monetized, pop culture channel, right? All the screenshots are there. And remember, I was screen recording this from 3 minutes before the stream started until the video was taken down. It even shows the copyright notice. I have a full screen recorded copy. Hey babe, how you doing? Respectfully, maturely, professionally, right? Every single chat message is in there. Every single super chat's in there. It's all preserved, right? So there's absolutely nothing to dispute when you have a perfect screen record with audio, video, the chat, right? Number of people in the chat at any given time, right? And while recording, the actual time in Pacific time is at the top of the screen recording. Wow. And then I took other screenshots from my laptop as well. Plenty of evidence, right? So what is the relevancy of filing this with the court regarding the I'm the plaintiff, regarding the defendant, right? The defendant's trying to strike this with a motion to strike, saying that it's not relevant. Well, here's the relevancy. It's in the filing. Number one, you're in the chat there talking about ridiculing the court scheduling change that it's up to the judge to decide what's going on. You know the honest truth. You just want to use it for entertainment and monetization content, right? Number two, it clearly shows you acting in concert with the non-party that has tried to file many times in our case, and also she's tried to schedule a hearing with the judicial assistant a few times, and she has no standing to do so, and she's been turned away by the judicial assistant every time. So the relevancy, first of all, she's tried to barge into this case improperly. She can properly file a motion to intervene. She can request leave of court and then file a motion to intervene. But you and her both know she's not going to do that, because that makes her a party to the case. Even the limited party to the case opens her up to discovery, opens her up to punitive damages, opens her up to protective orders, sanctions, all that stuff, right? In essence, she wants to bake her cake and eat it too, right? She wants to be able to have all the access of a full-blown party in a case without the accountability of the court. Give me a break. I mean, she wants to be treated like a full-blown litigant and basically do it without the court being able to hold her accountable. Oh, that's just funny. That is the truth of the matter. It absolutely is. Now, so acting in concert, redistributing the defamatory video. She's redistributed that defamatory video after she and the plaintiff. Sorry, after she and the defendant. I'm the plaintiff. After she and the defendant were put on notice, and they knew that this is defamatory, but she kept doubling down. And why does she keep doubling down? In my opinion, because the defendant has had to back off. I've got some people coming. I'm going to wait. The defendant has had to back off, so now it's the person that he acts in concert with taking over and continuing the smear campaign, right? It's also a credibility piece, because she contradicts herself in her counter notification, which is a legally sworn statement saying that, she 100% transformed the content. She did not. And here's the thing, defendant, if you're giving her permission to use your video, that makes matters worse, because then you're saying, hey, non-party lady, doing the stream, I give you permission to play the I believe you embezzled video. In essence, if you were to give her that, then in essence, you're further legally admitting that you're giving her permission to continue to defame me, further proving acting in concert. That is the truth of the matter. It is. So that was the purpose of the filing there. Okay? I filed it early this morning, and by early to mid-afternoon, the court approved it. It's already available on the Seminole County, court website. If you want to go see it, it's public information. You can go check it out. It's already been approved. Then I got 4 filings from the defendant. And in my opinion, he's really, really upset and triggered. Probably because he's boxed himself in. And probably because he has no other options. That's my opinion. That's protected first speech, right? Now, let me tell you what this guy filed, which will be available on the court website probably tomorrow or the next day. Probably tomorrow. They're getting the filings quicker because it's the holiday time, and I believe there are fewer filings right now. So that was pretty quick approval, same day. Within 4 or 5 hours after filing it. Typically it takes a day or two. He is all over the place in his filings. Yeah, absolutely. Dawn is cooking, so she's not going to be as interactive today. Forgive her. I do. No need. No need. She can come and go. She can come and go as she wishes. But anyway, so one of the filings that he filed was Don and I going on GLM stream and referring to him by his first name and by the person, the female that he's acting in concert with, referring to her by her first name. Well, they're public figures. Everyone refers to them that way. I just usually choose most of the time to not use even their publicly safe and First Amendment protected speech first name usage. But on that stream, I decided to do that. I was not defamatory. Again, I was not defamatory. I was not being insulting. I can't speak for the other people, but I was not. All I was doing was sharing what happened. A little history about what got us to this day. And that triggered the defendant to make a filing. Now, here's the thing, sir. You filed a motion to dismiss, and you also filed an anti-slap on me. Basically, the anti-slap is saying, you're trying to say that I'm silencing your freedom of speech, which I'm definitely not. You can talk about me all you want, as long as you don't defame me, as long as you don't slander me or libel. Slander spoken, libel written, right? And you have slandered the shit out of me. And there's lots of proof of that. There's lots of proof of that, right? It's undeniable. There's lots of proof. But anyway, you filed an anti-slap on me saying I'm trying to silence your freedom of speech, right? Yet you're trying to silence my freedom of speech to the point of where I can't go as a guest on someone else's panel and share my story of what I've endured for the last 6 years, primarily through you. Is it because you're ashamed that the truth is finally coming out and even your own people are starting to see, in my opinion, how much of a phony you are? It's all lies. It's all lies for entertainment, and there's lots of proof to back up those lies. And you've seen it, and you're boxed in, and you have nowhere to go, right? You've seen it, you're boxed in, you have nowhere to go. So when that happens to you, you stop posting for 3 or 4 days, and whenever you do that, I know your pattern. You're putting together another set of emotionally overreactive filings. Because my clear and concise, emotionally neutral, factual rich, evidence rich with screenshots and actual video links and preservation statements, right? And getting the date right also in my filings. And another thing you messed up on. And this is going to embarrass you. Because, hey, I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm only going to state what you filed, which is going to be publicly available probably by tomorrow, and everyone will see that. And you're going to realize you and non-party lady are going to realize you just made the biggest mistake that I'm going to share here to correct the record. I'll share it here in just a few. You made the biggest mistake. And again, I'm going to state this as my opinion. And I'm going to do more research, and I will get down to the truth of the matter. Because what you did that you probably haven't even realized yet, because you're filing emotionally overreactive filings, because my filings are landing hard because they're truthful with pure evidence, video, screenshots of you chatting, right? All that, right? You're getting triggered and you want to file filings to respond, and you're making lots of clerical errors. You're not double checking your work. You know, I quadruple check my work. I don't rely on ChatGPT to double, triple check my work. I'll use ChatGPT to find some errors, but I do what's called a quadruple manual check. I read the thing. I read the 50 pages and everything 4 times to ensure everything is proper. The caption, the case number, the dates, that everything lines up in sequence. You don't do that. So the contrast between your filings and mine in front of Judge Stacy is going to be a huge world of difference. A huge world of difference, right? Huge world of difference. Now, I can talk about whatever I want. I'm not slandering anyone. All I'm doing is correcting the record. Because everyone that's following this case knows where to go see what pops up on the docket. And I just want to share with my people the correction, the truth. Because the truth will not be silenced. I will not be silenced when everything I say and do is purely my First Amendment protected speech. I either have absolute concrete proof if I state something as a fact, and if I'm not sure and don't have all the proof yet, I will state it as an opinion. That's why right now what I'm about to share, which is going to knock the socks off of the defendant and the woman he's acting in concert with, because when you hear this and when you see this on the docket tomorrow, it'll probably show up tomorrow morning or maybe by the next day, probably tomorrow, because the courts are not getting many filings right now because it's a holiday time. The clerks are processing things a lot more quickly, right? But listen to this. There were 4 filings made by the defendant today. 3 of those filings had the wrong case number. 3 of those filings had the wrong case number. Now I'm going to come over here because I think their reception on this side is a little bit better than the other side. Put a 1 in the chat if you can still hear me and see me clearly. So, the case number in 3 out of the 4 filings that the defendant filed today were wrong. The 3 case numbers at the top of each of his filings were from 2023, and it was the exact same case number from 2023. Now, you know me, I'm going to research everything, right? Am I still good? Put a 1 in the chat. Am I still good? This side should have a lot better reception. We're still good, right? 1 in the chat. Yeah, Katia, thank you. Thank you, babe. Respectfully, my chilling professor. Sure, because I want to make sure this is going through before I start talking. Can you folks hear me clearly and see me clearly? All right, let's start over here. Be right back. Okay, Altias is 1. Okay, so we're good. Okay. Don, can you put a 1, make sure that you're hearing me clearly too? And I know you're cooking, but try to just thank you, babe, respectfully, maturely, professionally. Okay, great. So those 3 wrong court case numbers on 3 out of the 4 documents the defendant filed today are from 2023. So I'm waiting for these people. They're letting their dog go pee-pee there. So I did some research. I wanted to find out what do those case numbers link to, right? And you're not going to believe where they link to. You're not going to believe where they link to. Now, here's the thing. The case number that was improperly placed on 3 out of the 4 filings the defendant made today are from 2023, and they are a random case that has nothing to do with our case or any other case involving this entire drama group. When I went and did the research of this case from, I believe it was from it was from October of 2023. And guess which county in Florida it was from? Pasco County, Florida. That case number linked up to Pasco County, Florida. Pasco County, Florida is where the woman, that's her county, the woman acting in concert with the defendant. Now, this case was not a previous case of hers or mine or anything like that, or anyone in this entire drama group. It's interesting to me that somehow on the defendant's 3 out of the 4 defendant's filings, he didn't put the actual case number of our current case. He put a case number from a prior Pasco County, Florida stalking injunction hearing that has nothing to do with any prior case of his or mine or the woman he's acting in concert with that also lives in Florida like he does, right? Now, this is purely my opinion. I'm going to do more research. It'll take some time. But I think I know what's going on. But right now, until I have concrete proof, I'm going to state this as my opinion, which is protected by the First Amendment, Mr. Defendant, and also non-party person acting in concert with the defendant. I'm going to state as my opinion. You see, this case number, this misidentification of a case number was from a Pasco County, Florida injunction, stalking injunction hearing. I believe it was October of 23. During that time, the woman acting in concert with the defendant had sued me in San Mateo County, here where I live, over a business dispute that was hogwash. We handled it. Forget about that. But we were in the middle of our business small claims case she filed here in San Mateo County. But then, in December, she filed a stalking injunction case on me. Where? In Pasco County, Florida. Ironically, the case she filed on me was filed 2 months after this same case number that was mistakenly put on 3 out of the 4 filings the defendant put on today. Is that a coincidence? I'm looking forward, ma'am, to your documentaries tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I'll watch it. I'll tune in. I can watch whatever I want. So can you, right? I look forward to you using ChatGPT and analyzing this section here, which you won't, because it exposes you, in my opinion. Now, I don't have any proof, but is it coincidence? Yeah. Think about it. And guess who's going to know about it soon? Judge Stacy will know about this too, eventually. I love and respect the court, right? I have a lot of respect for the court, right? I've got to try to put my head in the head of Judge Stacy and just try to think about, because she's going to be professional, right? That she's professional. She's going to be professional, right? But man, sometimes I really wonder what the judges really feel underneath it all, right? They're never going to show that publicly. Again, they're going to be professional. Judge Stacy's very professional. But she's a human being too, for Christ's sake, and she's going to be looking at this and saying, "What? This guy's pro se. He needs an attorney." I mean, so to the woman acting in concert with the defendant, she filed her stalking injunction on me towards the end of December of 2023, 2 months after that case was filed, that somehow showed up as a case number in 3 out of the 4 filings that the defendant filed today. What is that telling me? What are the possibilities? Let's use common sense and deductive reasoning. Number one, he put a random case number there to try to get me to file, right? But I don't think that's what happened. Number two, this is what I more than likely think is happening, but this is my opinion. My opinion is I have a feeling that the Florida woman acting in concert with the defendant is helping him create filings through ChatGPT. And throughout the exchange of information, somehow the defendant didn't notice that an improper case number was listed in not only one of his filings, but 3 out of the 4. He got one of them right with our current case. The other 3 were the same case, unrelated to any of us in this group, back from 2023. 2 months before, the woman he's acting in concert with filed for a stalking injunction for me. So maybe, in my opinion, what I'm thinking is the woman acting in concert used that case as a template of how to file on me. And probably has been, probably had that information saved. We've got some people coming. I'm going to come over here. They just popped out. So I'm going to have to come in over here. It was clear and now it's not clear. Okay. So how are you going to explain that one? First of all, I have the right to defend myself in the court of public opinion over lies. That doesn't mean I'm violating the court rules or I'm ruining my case. I have the right to defend myself publicly. I also have the right to defend myself in the court of law. And that's what I'm doing here. Okay? AI makes a lot of mistakes. You have to train AI properly. Tia says Judge Stacy will see right through this. I hope so. I'm sure she will. I mean, the court's very busy, but I think I've done as good of a job as possible to make the record as clear as possible for Judge Stacy. So I look forward to your video tomorrow, acting in concert, Florida lady. And I'm going to see if you're going to answer How in the world did that court case end up on 3 out of the 4 filings the defendant filed today? That court case leads to a case in the county of where you live and where you filed a stalking injunction on me 2 months after that reference case by mistake in his filings today. It happened 2 months before. It was a stalking injunction case in Pasco County, Florida. Wow. He's GLM. Can you? Are you hearing this, GLM? GLM. I'm keeping it real. Hey, listen, I'm just being real and honest. I'm not defaming anyone. I'm not attacking anyone. I'm not even ridiculing anyone. I'm not insulting anyone. I'm just stating what happened. The dude, every time I file something legitimate, which it's all legitimate, he reacts, he gets triggered emotionally and files overreactive filings without proofreading them. You need to proofread your filings. For Christ's sake, at least get the case number right. Get the case number right. That's not only embarrassing. That's not only embarrassing, and for right now, until I do a further investigation on this, and believe me, I will. For right now, in my opinion, it's looking like you're more so acting in concert with the Florida lady. If I had to guess, in my opinion, and I can state this is my opinion, I think she's helping you with the filings. And that's okay. But at least proofread. You know, typically if people want to help you with filings, it's not really a problem. In this case, it just further solidifies acting in concert. Yeah, thank you for letting me know, Tia. I'm not really that worried about it. Yeah. No, the people even his people over there, they want to know the truth about what's going on. Even though they may not like me, right? They want to know the truth about what's going on. He's embarrassing himself. And here's the thing, dude. If you're going to do embarrassing things publicly, I can talk about them, especially. I'm not even mentioning your name, especially. If you do embarrassing things, when I did embarrassing things years ago, you talked about it. I'm not suing you for that. I'm suing you for defamation, malicious prosecution, abuse of process, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. I'm not suing you for calling me out on my embarrassing things. But right now, you're embarrassed because you're getting caught with your pants down, figuratively speaking. Right? You're embarrassed, man. And you continue to embarrass yourself between your filings and the way that you're behaving online. And you continue to act in concert with the Florida lady, whether it's publicly or privately. You continue to let her intervene in this stuff, and it's just making the matters worse. That's my opinion. Right? How are you going to explain putting a 2023 court number on 3 out of your 4 filings, and that court number, that court case number leads to Pasco County, Florida, the same courthouse in the same county of the woman that you're acting in concert with that filed a stalking injunction on me 2 months after the date of that court number or that court case number that you put improperly on 3 out of the 4 filings in our current case, right? And it was a stalking injunction case. And to remind everyone, this woman served me on a Thursday, and I had to be in Florida on a Monday. She served me at the last minute. Now, I tried to write to the judge. I had to write emergency filings and all that. I tried to get remote appearance, and that judge in that courthouse, she denied remote appearance. I wrote back to the judge, I can't make it. There's no way. I got my lady to take care of. Back then, Dawn needed a lot more assistance. She still needs assistance today, but not as much, right? So, and then come Monday, this woman that's acting in concert with the defendant, this Florida woman, she failed to appear and the case was dismissed. Here's the thing, when you let your emotions get the best of you, that's when you start making a lot of mistakes, right? The reason why, here's the thing, Mr. Defendant, I can talk about you all I want. You're a public figure. I'm not harassing you. I'm not defaming you. I'm correcting the record. It's a public case. You can talk about it. I can talk about it. It's not going to affect us. And I'm not here to trash you. I'm here to set the record straight. Because you and the woman acting in concert are trying to make a mockery out of the court case and the court, the judge, the JA, judicial assistant. You're making a mockery out of all this. And I'm coming here correcting the record and saying, that's wrong. That's what you're doing. You're trying to also save your face in front of your audience before you know what's coming. And you know what's coming. You know what's coming. Here's the thing. Regardless of when the anti-SLAPP motion to dismiss happens, let's say, let me put it to you this way. Could Judge Stacy force the hearing to happen that morning at 9:30? She could order us to do that. At that point, I would have to figure out and somehow get there, even though I've got something else going on. So here's the thing. One way or another, regardless of when the anti-SLAPP motion to dismiss happens, I will be there. And I will be there with a mountain of evidence that has already been submitted to the court. And I'm going to put together my summary, and I'll submit that to the court so it's a part of the record. So that way you're served a copy, because we're going to be virtual. We can't, I think you can do things through Microsoft Teams, but everything I present that day will be submitted to the court at least 5 days in advance, 5 business days in advance. I'm going to be ready, regardless of when that hearing is. Okay? I never agreed to the 9th, and that's why, right now the JA has escalated this to Judge Stacy, the court, to see what happens. But whether it happens on January 9th, whether it happens February 3rd, we have another hearing, or whether it happens in March or April, regardless of when it happens, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for that. Okay? I'm ready for that, right? Are you ready for that? Now, here's the thing. Getting back to the GLM show. Here's the thing, sir. I will not allow you or anyone to try to strip me of my First Amendment rights. I've never tried to strip you of your First Amendment rights. You can talk about me all you want as long as you don't defame me like you have for the last 6 years. Right? You've called me a criminal. You've said I've done all this criminal activity. And that's why that audience has stuck around, because you've painted me as a criminal villain. Right? And the moment you stop doing that is the moment that audience is dead. Right? I'm warm now, actually, even though it's probably like 48, 47 degrees. GLM's wondering, how do you do it, Eli? Well, I'm used to doing it. And this is not really even that cold. It is cold, don't get me wrong. This is cold, but it's not like 20, 30-degree cold like in other parts of the country. And it's probably going to get down to the 30s at some point this year, but it very rarely gets into the 20s out here. Very rarely gets below 32 freezing out here. And when it does, folks, like when it gets down to like below 40, if you have pets that are outside, you've got to bring them in. You've got to bring them in. Our pets, they're inside no matter what the weather is. We're very protective of Bochi and Buster. But you know, some dogs, like growing up, we had a dog, a half German Shepherd, half Temper Wolf. His name was Leon, Leon, named after my dad's dog in Greece. He was Leon II. My dad's dog in Greece, when they went to war, his family went to war, and they all left the house. They left the dog behind, Leon. He was a shepherd. And when the troops showed up to try to check out what was at the house, the dog was trying to stop them, and they shot and killed the dog. So, you know, when we had our dog growing up, my dad got a half German Shepherd, half Temper Wolf. He had a friend he was working with that had a litter of puppies. And we got a beautiful mixed breed, half German Shepherd, half Temper Wolf, 80 pounds. He wasn't the biggest shepherd, but he was probably almost twice the size of our dog Bochi, and Bochi's a pretty good sized dog. Leon was he was great. He was great. He was pretty active. That's so sad. How horrible. Yeah. I've shared that story in the past, probably before you even knew about us over here, Tia. But yeah. There are a lot of great stories. I'll share down the road. We're gonna be live another maybe 10 minutes. Gonna walk around to the other side a little bit, and then we're gonna wrap it up. I'm just trying to kill a little more time because well, I have a lot more to say, but I'm also trying to kill a little time because my lady's cooking. I want to give her some more time. Dawn makes a great spaghetti. We'll call it a mean spaghetti. Her mother taught her how to make it at a younger age. Dawn is like a spinning image of her mother. You are, babe. You and your mother have the same attitude. You look similar. You cook similar. And it's all good. It's all good. I'm not trying to be mean. It's all good. It's just I see the similarities. Somebody was yelling over there. I think somebody was yelling at their kid. I want to stay away, you know. When people are triggered, you got to stay away from that, you know. So, you know, I really would love if for one time the defendant and the woman acting in concert correct their mistake. They always ask me to correct my mistakes. But see, the thing is, the mistakes they say I'm making aren't mistakes. I haven't made. If I make a mistake, I'll correct it on my own. But these people will not even correct an obvious mistake where the defendant filed 3 out of his 4 filings today in our current case using a court case number from a different court case, not involving anyone in this entire group of people. It's a completely random case. I believe, if I had to guess, based on the timing of that case, 2 months before the defendant's partner acting in concert with him out here on YouTube, before she filed her stalking injunction on me, she probably, in my opinion, used that as a template. And somehow, for some reason, how would it get referenced into this case? I wonder, and I'm going to have to do some deep digging through ChatGPT and my own manual reading. I'm going to figure out why that case number got on there. Unless you tomorrow in your video, man, want to publicly share with us why, right? Or the defendant wants to go public and state why. That error is that coincidence? Was it purposefully put on there? I don't think so. I think both the defendant and the woman he's acting in concert with, both living in Florida, I think they were so triggered after my professionally well-written filings hit the truth. And also, I asserted my copyrights on the woman acting in concert, right? I started to more so assert my legal rights. The more I assert my legal rights, the more triggered these people get, huh? And then they start making mistakes. They start to talk behind the scenes. I'll help you write this through ChatGPT, and here you go. Here, just change this. Make sure you do this, right? But here's the thing: when they're so boxed in, and they've been called out, and now they've got nowhere to go, and they're running from such a high level of emotion, they're gonna make mistakes. Oh, by the way, defendant, your previous filing, you made a few days ago, you filed 2 other filings, and I believe in one of your filings, you got the date wrong. You got the date wrong. Your submission date was wrong. Hey, Lewis, how you doing? So you're starting to make a lot of real you're starting to make some really simple errors that someone would make when they're running from a very, very high level of emotion, in my opinion. That's what happens when people run from a high level of emotion. They make a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes. How do I know? Because I've run from a high level of emotion before, and I've made a lot of mistakes during those times, right? So I've learned to become cool, calm, and collective, right? Babe, how close is dinner ready? We are at 62, almost 63 minutes. We're at 63 minutes, an hour and 3 minutes. In a motion to strike my supplemental notice of filing for evidentiary use for the anti-SLAPP hearing, and you can still use it, for the regular case. But all the supplemental filings you're getting now, defendant, right now, you're getting early access to my evidence I'll be presenting at the anti-SLAPP, along with what's in the complaint and my 47 exhibits, right? Right? Again, I would really, really like to hear from both you, defendant, and the non-party person you're acting in concert with. I would really like to hear about that 2023 case number. And if neither of you talk about it, it's just going to prove to me that you only selectively feed your audience things that you can spin into your narrative that paint me as a villain, and something that is a very, very serious mistake of yours. You just ignore it, right? Are you going to ignore this? Are you going to ignore it? I mean, I'm thinking maybe I should go live on Rumble. I wouldn't do this on YouTube. Maybe I should go live on Rumble. And still, it wouldn't be a problem on YouTube. I just don't want to. These people like mass flag on YouTube even for normal content. So I would do this on Rumble. I could show the court documents that are publicly available. Anyway, I could show them on Rumble. And I could say, hey, here's what it is. Right? Or anyone on his end that doesn't believe me can go to the court website tomorrow in Seminole County, Florida. They can go to the court site, put my last name in, Melas, M-E-L-A-S. You could look up the case yourself. It's public information. You'll see the documents will probably be accepted by the court at some point tomorrow. How you doing, Louis? To type in the chat if you have a voice remote control. AI is progressing quickly. It is. No, ChatGPT's gotten really good. But here's the thing. ChatGPT does make a lot of mistakes. And you got to continue to clear the memory. It's best to use ChatGPT on your laptop so you can easily feed it PDFs to scan and have it create Word files or PDF files for you. I have it create Word files, and then I do manual conversion to PDF because I edit stuff. I don't cleanly have ChatGPT make me documents to submit. I have ChatGPT give me a good template or an idea, but I always put my own spin on it and double check it, triple check it, quadruple check it on my own. AI is not 100%, at least at this point. It probably never will be. But you gotta double, triple, quadruple check. And after a while, you gotta tell it to save memory, and then you gotta shut down your browser, reopen it, and continue off in the same session, because after a while it gets bloated and then it just makes mistakes. You gotta know how to use AI. Maybe I'll do a stream or video about that. I'll do a pre-recorded video on that at some point. All right, folks, I'm gonna get going. 67 minutes, leaving 39 in the box. 4 thumbs up. Lots of love to all of you. If something comes up, I'll update you. I didn't have planned to talk about this today, but after the defendant filed those 4 documents, then he's trying to silence my freedom of speech. He's filing whenever I'm a guest on someone else's live stream. I can't go there and talk about my own life, my own experiences. I can talk about my case. I can talk about another public figure. I can do it respectfully. There's nothing wrong with that, right? So he's trying to file that. He's trying to silence me when he's trying to accuse me at the same time through the anti-slap that I'm trying to silence him. Wow, man, you are a real piece of work, man. I got to tell you, you are a real piece of work. You and the other woman you're acting in concert with, like, I swear, man, you people cannot just do things the straight and narrow way, right? Right? You gotta like make a big deal about every little thing. Why? Because that's all you got? Oh, sorry, I went off the air. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. I'm going to go off the air in a second. Tia says, thanks, Eli. Everyone have a good night. Thumbs up, please. Thank you. And I always create a new chat when using AI as it will confuse info. Yeah, you're right. My lady says, respectfully, maturely, professionally, a person's character is too sacred for anyone to be dragged through the mud. Another's bitterness. Mud of another's bitterness, sorry. A person's character is too sacred for anyone to be dragged through the mud of another's bitterness. Have a good one. Right, babe. On your smart TV. Thanks, Louis. I stepped out of my comfort zone today. Wonderful. That's good. We can talk more about that on the next show. That's a well said quote for the day, babe. All right, 68 minutes, about to turn. Actually, that's 69 minutes. It's 69 minutes, about to turn 70 minutes. We're going to wait. It'll be an hour and 10 minutes in just a second. 70 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes. I like that, Don says Tia. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other. See you all tomorrow. Good night, everyone.